What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Vivid Collectibles. My name is Danny, and tonight I'm going to be talking to you about Tweeterhead's Mer-man Maquette. Now, this is Tweeterhead's third 1/5 scale statue from the Masters of the Universe line. They do have also a life-size bust for Skeletor, which people seem to really like. This statue came in a regular and an exclusive. This is the exclusive. What makes it the exclusive is that long trident that he's holding. The regular comes with the sword. It comes with two portraits, whether you get the collector edition or the exclusive. And it's really well made. Now, when I first unboxed it, it underwhelmed me a little bit. Now, when I assembled it, then spent some time really looking at it, it's actually quite impressive. And I'm happy that I have it. Obviously, there's things you like, some things that you wish were done better, but I'll get into all that with the review of this statue. They made 400 of the exclusive and 450 of the collector edition. The exclusive is waitlisted on Sideshow and also on Tweeterhead, and the collector edition is still available. This is not exclusive or bust, because the only thing exclusive about it is that trident. Otherwise, you get the two portraits. And the sword is really nice in my opinion. So without much further ado, we're going to get into this review. Alright, so we're going to start our review. First of all, take a quick look at his pose, right? It kind of reminds me a little bit of the Colossus Premium Format by Sideshow, where he's got that right foot slightly elevated. He's in motion, and you see the left foot trailing. Looks good. Same thing with the left shoulder is kind of forward, and then that right shoulder on the back. So I do like the pose. The expressions, it's kind of expressionless. It's kind of just there, but looks pretty cool. So let's get a little more detailed as far as the base. The Snake Mountain sub base. You see that snake sub base from the similar to like Skeletor's when the Sideshow did, and they're continuing that with this line, which I appreciate. And then you have these little lava weeping holes, right? And I don't think these are done very well. You're not gonna see them much, but they're high gloss, but very little detail and paint work on them. They don't look particularly good. They're just kind of there with some jagged rock throughout. It's really nicely painted. It's almost like silverish, but you have these dark blues and lighter blues, and I like the way that the light reflects off of them. It looks really nice. The top of the base, you have this swamp water, very nicely sculpted and painted. You see the movement in the water. That looks really good. And then you have this tentacle, and this is really a miss for me, this tentacle, because it's really flat. They really needed to add some gloss to this. A little more detail would have been nice. Some better separation of this tentacle wrapping around this rock. But it is just a tentacle. The reason I think it's such a miss is because when you compare it to the Tila Maquette, look at the level of detail on this creature and that tentacle. Look at the purples, that high gloss. It looks slimy. Looks great with a lot of detail. And this one, on the Mer-man Maquette, really doesn't have any of that. So I think that was a big miss. But it is just a base, which in my opinion is the weakest of the three bases they've done between the Hordak, Tila. But nevertheless, like I said, it's just a base. As far as Mer-man himself, he's really well done, beautifully sculpted, and extremely well painted with a lot of great textures. So his armor is really a highlight. It looks like coral. You see those yellows, different shades of yellows with some browns and some deep like burgundies. Look at all the jagged edges throughout. Really amazing the way that they did that. But kind of getting out all over the place here. Let's go back to the bottom. Look at his feet. High level of detail. Semi-webbed feet. Black nails painted nicely. Look at all those bumps in his body. You can see the tendons. really nicely sculpted and painted. Green with different yellows and different shades of green. Again, as I mentioned, that armor, I like how all of the jagged edges seem to be different, right? They're sculpted differently. It's not uniform. And they're really nicely painted. The musculature on this character is really well done. You can see all the muscle definition. Again, those bumps all over the place with really nice paint work. Outstanding work by Tweeterhead throughout. Really, really nice. The knees, look at all the wrinkles on that knee. Same thing here. Let's get in focus. And then you have that utility belt. Again, look at that coral-like bone substance that goes throughout. Really, really nice. You have this like serrated knife on there on the utility belt. And then on the back of it, same thing. Some of that great coral-like detail. I love the way it's sculpted and painted. They did an outstanding job. And then here's the belt right there. Some of that design that's also going to be on the trident. I don't know what the design work means, but it's basically everywhere. And then that buckle, it's like a turquoise color. Very nicely done. And then look at that. That chest piece is really, really nicely sculpted and painted. Some of that turquoise again, looks like some sort of like gem. Again, look at the paint work on this and the texture done on this outfit. It's really special. Very nicely done. Look at that. Look at the bumps on his back. Really an amazing, amazing piece. A lot of detail. A lot of detail on the hands. A lot of detail on those gauntlets. You know, the muscle tone, the definition is there. And then the portraits, outstanding portraits. Both of them really good. Special shout out to those eyes. High gloss, really nicely painted, beautifully sculpted. You know, those ugly little teeth. Look at all that. And then some of that webbing on his head. Outstanding. The back of the head. Some of that great texture again. There is a seam, but it's not noticeable unless you're looking for it. Now, this is the exclusive setup. And what makes it the exclusive is just this trident. And that's really it. Otherwise, with the collector edition, you do get both portraits and that sword, which looks amazing. And look at the trident itself. Nice detail. That turquoise gem again. There it is. Beautifully painted and sculpted. It's very long. A very long trident. And then the tip of the spear. It's like some sort of bronze. A little bit out of focus, excuse me. But I like it. I think it's really nicely done. As far as his body and Mer-man himself, he's probably the most intricate. And it must have been a difficult one to sculpt, which is why it took so long for them to finally release this statue. It took longer than Tila for sure, and definitely Hordak. But beautifully painted and beautifully sculpted. Look at the bottom of his feet. A lot of detail. They spared no detail on this thing. So I'm going to swap out now the portraits, and both portraits are really good. Just give you a close-up of this. Look at the eyes on that. Paint work. Really an amazing, amazing statue. All right, so this is one of the switch-out portrait. It's hard to describe. The eyes are really nicely done on this as well. Some of that webbing. Really well painted and well sculpted. And they're both so good. It's tough to decide which one. Look at that. And then we're going to remove this trident. Replace it with this sword. I'll give you a close-up of this sword. Look at the details on this. Nice jagged edges. Serrated edges, I should say. That bronze middle. That turquoise gem again. Some of that coral work. Look at the handle, the hilt. And again, that hand with that great detail. The under, which is like almost like a burgundy brown. Really, really nice. It's sculpted. They're like, it's resin material from what I can tell. And the magnets are pretty good. So there it is. So this is the configuration. With this is what you could get if you get the collector edition, because you do get both portraits and just the sword. But you're not missing anything. That sword is really nice. In my opinion, the sword is it's nicer than the trident. I just like the way it looks with the trident. But I'll be switching this up from time to time. We'll go back to the other portrait, which I do like a little better. I can't really describe why. I just think it flows better. Maybe the yellow here flows better with the rest of it. But I do like it. Again, sword or trident, you really can't go wrong. So let me know what you guys think. I think personally Tweeterhead did an outstanding job with this statue. I like it. And the next one is going to be, I believe it's Trapjaw. And they have Skeletor for pre-order, which they both look really good. Till next time, guys, let me know what you guys think. Take care.